In any real estate market, there are always winners and losers. And in my market of Surrey and across Greater Vancouver, this year is no exception. While headlines usually focus on overarching big shifts or changes in the market, but the truth is much more nuanced. Some homeowners, investors, and renters have the potential to come out ahead this year, while others are already facing major challenges, setbacks, or they might even miss a great opportunity altogether because the news reports on the overall numbers being either good or bad. And they don't specifically account for situations like you might find yourself in right now. So if you only look at the big numbers like average price or sales, you might miss the real story about who gained, who lost, and what you can do to find out if this market holds the possibility of benefiting the most important person in your world, you. Now, since I'm a real estate agent selling here in the Lower Mainland, myself and my team get to see firsthand which groups have the opportunity in markets like this one, and also who has been left absolutely scrambling. So in today's video, I'm going to pick 3 winners and 3 losers of the 2025 real estate market here in the Fraser Valley. And if you fall into one of these categories and you need help, well, you can book a call with me right now using the link in the description below at a time that works best for you. And after I ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel, I'll start off with the bad news first. Here are 3 sets of people that if you find yourself in this situation right now, well, the market is not your friend at the moment. First, if you own a 3-bedroom townhouse and your dream is to move up to a detached home without moving further away from the city, well, you're going to be in tough. 3-bed townhomes are seemingly in great supply at the moment. And although many of them are still selling quite well, the gap between townhomes and detached homes remains often $400,000 to $700,000 in actual purchase price, meaning that your move up to that dream detached home will probably have to add an extra $1,800 to $3,000 per month on top of your current mortgage payment just to take that small step up. And that means if you'd like to make that move happen, you'll probably have to buy a home with a rental suite in it already, which of course is a great option, but obviously not the dream that you probably have for you and your family sharing walls again. This time not with a neighbor beside you, but with a tenant in your basement. Second loser? Well, I personally fall into this group myself, and that is condo investors. You see, in 2023 and 2024, the BC NDP went absolutely ham on landlords. They made it harder for you to kick a bad tenant out. They kept extremely tight rent controls in place and limited how much you can increase rents. They made it harder to sell a tenanted property. And if that wasn't all bad enough, the market in areas like Wally is absolutely flooded with something like 700 condo listings at the moment. So you may not even be able to sell if you wanted to. But don't worry, your mortgage rate probably increased too, which will chip away at any cash flow or equity you were hoping for, making it a tough time to be a condo landlord, but not nearly as tough as the third and maybe the biggest loser in this list, and that is the pre-sale completer. If you thought you were a genius 3 to 5 years ago and bought a pre-sale that is now completing, well, it's likely worth less than you paid for it, so it can't be flipped. Rates are now higher than you were expecting to pay. So your cash flow that was okay at minus $1,000 per month means you're probably now subsidizing your rental by as much as $1,500 to $2,000. Oh yeah, and rents are also coming down. So instead of renting that 2-bedroom for $2,800 per month, like the sales center said you would rent it for, now you have the place up for maybe $25.50 on Craigslist or Marketplace, and you aren't getting any bites. So do you maybe sell at a loss, and a substantial one, or do you diamond hands that thing to the tune of $15,000 to $20,000 negative per year until the market returns? That is a decision that only you can make. But in any market, there are people who see only opportunity when everyone around them is living in fear. As such, here are the three groups that I think could score massive wins in this marketplace right now. First-time buyers of a very specific set of small condos, particularly in flooded areas like Wally, where there are hundreds of listings to pick from. This is because many of them are owned by the aforementioned condo investor who is desperate to sell. Prices in these areas are down, sometimes back to as low or possibly lower than 2018 pricing. Interest rates are low too. So if you're looking for a small one-bedroom apartment with access to the SkyTrain and you're looking for a deal, now is the best time to buy one of these units in a decade. A second opportunity in today's market is in the townhouse space, particularly if you own a two-bedroom, two-bathroom townhome and you want to move up, not into a detached house, but into a larger townhome. The gaps between two-bedroom and three-bedroom townhouses has shrunk. Many of these three-bed townhomes have larger living areas than detached homes. They have double garages, fenced yards, a rec room for the kids, and yes, 3 or maybe even 4 bathrooms. And when the gap in pricing is smaller than maybe any other time over the last 8 years or so, this is the busiest space we are seeing in the market right now. So if you are in a 2-bedroom townhome and you want more space because now maybe you have kids, go ahead and book a call with me using the link below and let's get you some more room. And the last winner in today's marketplace might shock you because it's anyone renewing their mortgage this year. Sure, there are folks out there with very, very low interest rates that now have to renew in and around 4%. But most folks renewing this year were either early pandemic buyers before the ultra low interest rates that happened throughout 2021, meaning they already didn't have much lower than 4% anyway, or they have been floating a variable rate mortgage, and well, the overnight rate is now way lower than it was a year ago. And most banks are projecting that it may drop another 3 or 4 times this year. So sure, rates may be much higher than many of us would like them to be, but after seeing where they went in 2023, most mortgage holders, including myself, that remortgaged this year, well, they're all super happy to see how little their payment increased after we were all terrified that it may have doubled upon our renewal. Now, the most common thread through this video has been that many of these opportunities or hardships are happening in the stratified or attached property segment of the market. So before you buy a strata property, make sure you watch this video so you can learn the 7 things you need to know before buying a condo or townhouse in Surrey, BC.